I work in the image and video processing lab where we deal with machines that perform visual tasks. And today I want to talk about how these machines perceive the world around us. But first, I want to talk about movies, specifically this one, Ex Machina, a film that came out 2 years ago, one of my personal favorites. Anyone seen it? Show of hands. Pretty good crowd. Okay, great. So you know what I'm talking about then. Here I show Alicia Vikander playing Ava, a robot with artificial intelligence, or AI. Throughout the film, her examiners are testing her for human-level consciousness and human-level understanding, right? She has a penchant throughout the film for drawing pictures, like this one. Just a geometric structure that has no inherent meaning. But her examiners think that this could shed some insight into how her mind works. So they ask her to draw something more specific, like an object or person. And she comes up with this, the view from outside of her window. It's pretty good. It's certainly better than what I would be capable of, given pencil and paper. My artistic talents are lacking. But there's still something a bit off about it. The geometric pattern that we saw in her previous work is still very dominant here. It's as if she sees the world through a very different lens than ourselves. Which begs the question, just because she can see the tree and see the paper and therefore draw the picture, does that really mean she sees the world in the same way that we do? And perhaps it's a silly question, given that this is a movie, science fiction, right? It's not really a reality yet. But I would argue that a reality where robots like Ava exist is closer than one might think. In fact, I have an AI up in the lab. Unfortunately, it does not look like a beautiful Academy Award-winning Swedish actress, but it is an algorithm that I think is quite advanced. It can adapt, it can learn from its mistakes, and improve at the task that it's given. These algorithms are typically referred to as deep learning, or neural networks, which we've heard 2 presentations about today, so I won't go through what they are again. But the notion here is that they take experience, they take massive amounts of data, and then adapt their structure to be able to perform tasks better and better as time goes on. And they've had a variety of success in some applications like facial recognition, like image search recommendations, like Google or Spotify. Mine does something a bit different. It solves a classification task. That is, it has learned to understand 1,000 different things, 500 animals like frogs and flamingos, and 500 man-made objects like pool tables and pirate ships. So given some image, we send it into our network, and it is able to guess what the image is, classify it as one of 1,000 different things. And it's pretty good. It's about as good as a human is, which I think is quite impressive in its own right. But we can also ask the same question that we asked of Ava. Just because my algorithm can find flamingos out of pictures, does it really mean that it understands what a flamingo is? Does it mean that it sees the flamingo the same way that we do? To do so, we can perform a similar approach as what they did in the movie, that is, ask to draw a picture. Some of my recent work has been about this visualization, that is, finding a picture that represents what this machine understands an object to be. So we're going to flip the script on my normal algorithm. Now we have this notion of flamingo, and let's create an image using the information in my algorithm to determine what it really understands. In essence, we're asking my algorithm to draw a picture. So we first look at what humans think of as a flamingo. This is an artistic rendition, albeit a pretty good one, I'd say. It encapsulates all the things we know about flamingos. Their pink color, their long necks, their long legs, the beak. And again, better than what I would have done. I would probably come up with something like this, but humor me. Let's assume that this is our human understanding of what a flamingo is. And now we move to what the machine thinks a flamingo looks like, and it comes up with something like this. Which is interesting. Not, again, what I expected. And it looks more like if you had like psychedelic mushrooms and then tried to draw a picture, right? But there's still the notion of the bird in there. You got the pink body, you have the long, stocky necks and legs. But it's more of a soup of body parts, like some zoo massacre or something, which is unfortunate. But it does give a bit of insight into what's going on here. The algorithm doesn't really understand what a flamingo is. It just understands what it's looking for, that is the coloration and the body parts. So at the end of the day, does my machine, and do these machines in general, really understand and perceive the world like we do? I would argue no, probably not. At least not the ones that we use right now. But does that really matter? I just told you that my machine can find flamingos just as good as anyone can. So does it matter that it doesn't really understand what it is? Maybe we look at something a bit more tangible, like Tesla and their autopilot, which we've talked about earlier as well. This is going to be huge whenever it actually gets sorted out and the federal regulations are more lax, I would say. The notion here is that it is a testament to what deep learning and computer vision can do for our society. But they're not perfect yet. You still have headlines like this, where you have crashes and mistakes. And there's still something weird about these journal articles too, or rather news articles. They both use the word deadly crash, even when describing the action that the US government took in clearing Tesla in one particular crash. There's a fear associated with these kinds of machines that I think is unwarranted and unfortunate, because these machines are supposed to make our lives better and not make us panic, right? I think this fear comes from a lack of understanding about how these machines work. There's this idea that the car can drive itself, but I don't know how, right? It doesn't drive like I do. And because of that, there's a fear and an unwanted response to this sort of thing. And so to end, I just want to leave you with a note. When people talk about the age of computer-aided automation that we live in, or if someone with a tinfoil hat comes up to you and talks about the impending robot apocalypse, I want you to picture this image instead of this one. Thank you for your time.